tonight on CTV News at 5.
There's been, as you know, sort of an explosion in changes related to sort of the use of technology in healthcare.
The digital doctor is in. An increasing number of Maritimers are encouraged to access medical care online.
Started this because I love reading. Like, the entire thing began because it was my personal interest.
Book smart, this Nova Scotia student started a small business to pay her tuition.
I was quite surprised, and I think it's a treat, and it made my day.
And playing keys at the Caring Kitchen, a Blue Rodeo band member supports a local cause.
Gradual clearing, but colder temperatures and a still gusty wind for the Maritimes tonight.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Peno-Palace. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, connecting to care. We can bank online, order groceries with our phone, and even attend class virtually. And these days, medical attention is at our fingertips, too. It's Digital Health Week in Nova Scotia, and as CTV's Stephanie Seacos reports, from e-referrals to prescription refills, online access really clicks for some users. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Maria. While there are still lots of reasons to physically go in to see a doctor, there are more ways than ever to get care, and from the comfort of your own home.
There are more than 69,000 Nova Scotians without a primary care provider. After 4 years, Megan Croft is no longer on that list.
We were told that we would have a doctor coming in to replace our old one, and we just never got one, and now I have to travel over an hour to see a doctor.
But with so many people still on the list, having access to virtual care is critical.
The pandemic taught us a lot about, you know, the fact that not every single visit needs to be doctor sitting in front of patient. You know, virtual care has offered the opportunity for us to provide care to patients who may not be able to get to a doctor or may not have a family doctor.
That's just one tool being highlighted as part of Nova Scotia Health's Digital Health Week.
We're using technologies as a way to automate and make things more efficient and more effective in what we're doing. So it's really important that we have the time to highlight that, to raise awareness of it, and most importantly, at the end of the day, help Nova Scotians become more informed of how they can access services and information to help them manage their own health.
Nova Scotia Health says while progress is being made, there's always more work to be done.
It's really about standardizing the way we deliver care across all of our 40-plus sites. So when Nova Scotian goes to one site and the other, they should have the same experience. And of course, the digital tool helps us be consistent, putting better data, more quality data, and providing information to our clinicians to provide care.
Doctors Nova Scotia looks forward to seeing what's to come.
Obviously, lots of interest in AI and where AI can fit into healthcare. I'm not an AI expert, but one example, for example, is AI scribes, which have been shown to improve efficiencies in primary care, probably in other specialties too.
As for Croft, she's glad there's virtual care since her doctor is so far away.
It is nice knowing that I have the option. I'm thankful that I do have a healthcare doctor now, that I can go see someone.
Another key way technology has improved healthcare is through the simple task of letting people know they have an appointment coming up. Doctors Nova Scotia says no-shows used to be a bigger issue, but the number of people missing appointments has gone down. Maria.
Oh, that's some good news for sure. Thank you, Stephanie. CTV's Stephanie Seacos for us in the news center this evening. All right, let's head over to the anchor desk where Todd Battis is standing by with a look at the day's headlines. Hi, Todd.
Thank you, Maria. People who live in St. John's Lorneville neighborhood had their say last night. For nearly 2 hours, they grilled company executives who want to open a data center in the Spruce Lake Industrial Park. We'll hear the concerns and the company's plan tonight at 6 for that controversial industrial park. Halifax is closing one of its last few designated homeless encampments. It comes soon after a shooting in the area and a promise by the province that adequate indoor spaces are available. But some folks who work on behalf of people without housing disagree. We'll hear from them at 6. A bit of sympathy for Big Potato Man. There he is, not at his best. Majorville's beloved potato was vandalized yesterday, just 3 years after the 56-year-old sculptor got a $30,000 facelift. Laura Brown has the details. She'll tell us what happened to Big Potato Man and what comes next. Mr. Potato Head there, and Potato Man got rained on today like a lot of Maritimers. Kayla Mitchell's in the Weather Center with a look at just how much precipitation we did get.
Yeah, and it wasn't just rain, of course, as we know, Todd. There was some snow that mixed in with this weather system, snowing, if you will, through parts of the region for today. Did get some pictures that accumulated a little bit in a few spots, interior parts of the east of Nova Scotia, mostly just on some vegetative surfaces, though, and some metal objects like on the top of car or truck roofs. And since temperatures are above the freezing mark, any wet snow that did collect is still going to be melting away. Temperatures right now, they are plenty cool to chilly, though, for the region. They're in the range of around 4 to 7 degrees. As we take a look at the winds, they're out of the north and northwest. And as expected, they did pick up to become quite gusty. They're being sustained right now between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour. Even a few higher winds than that around parts of the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia, sustained close to 50 kilometers per hour. And we're seeing some gusts up in between 40 and 70. The wind gusts will be diminishing a little bit as we move through tonight into tomorrow, but I would still describe the overall wind conditions as gusty through that period of time. Over on radar and satellites, the bulk of the steadiest of the rain is now cleared to the east of Cape Breton, and behind it, though, there is a scattering of some showers. Might even be a few flurries in a couple of spots, including up in the Cape Breton Highlands, interior areas of Nova Scotia, and up in the northwest of New Brunswick. It's going to be a gradual clearing trend for tonight, though, and more on that when I'm back a little bit later on. Maria.
Excellent. Thank you, Kaylin. We'll see you a little later on. As you said, right now, though, it's one of the most important numbers in your life, your credit score. And as CTV's Pat Foran reports, a good score can save you money, while a bad one, well, it'll cost you.
A woman we'll call Gloria asked us not to identify her as she is embarrassed about her situation. The senior has mobility and eyesight issues, but the former bookkeeper says she's always been very careful paying her bills. Have you always paid your bills on time?
Oh, before the due date.
Gloria says in February she got a credit card bill for $389 and believes she paid it. But her bank said it never received the funds and kept sending the same bill month after month and adding interest. Gloria was worried she would be paying the bill twice.
Why should I put that money in their pocket? For what? If you pay it, why do you have to pay again? I don't understand that.
After she didn't pay the bill for 8 months, her credit score dropped to the lowest level, her home insurance doubled, she was unable to co-sign her son's car loan, and she was denied a new credit card. Gloria says she didn't know disputing the charge could cause so many problems.
I thought they'd go only after me for the money. I never thought they are gonna destroy my credit score.
A good credit score can help you rent an apartment, get a loan, and qualify for lower interest rates. But late payments can lead to a lowered credit score, increased interest rates, higher late fees, difficulty getting new credit, and accounts could be closed or have reduced credit limits.
If you're behind on a $100 a month payment, your credit score really takes a hit because they figure, hey, if you can't handle a $100 payment, we're certainly going to not loan you a larger amount of money.
Doug Hoyce, a licensed insolvency trustee, says in the event you feel there's a mistake on one of your bills, pay it first and try to settle it later.
If you're having a dispute on a bill, pay it, and that way your credit score isn't going to take a hit, and then fight over it later. If you win, you get your money back.
After CTV News contacted her bank, they determined Gloria had not paid the bill. Now she has, but it could take as long as 6 years before the unpaid bill doesn't show up on her credit score. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Thank you, Pat, with some news you could use. All right, time for a break. When we come back, though, we will open the book on this story.
Hi, my name is Hannah Crosley. I run The Book Addict, which is a small store for people within the HRM community. And I'll tell you more details about it coming up on CTV News.
Celebrate the outstanding class of 2025. The Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame induction ceremony takes place Saturday, November 8th at 7 p.m. at the Lighthouse Arts Centre in Halifax. Visit nsshf.com to purchase tickets.
Welcome back. A Halifax University student has come up with a way to tackle her hefty tuition bills. As CTV's Vanessa Wright shows us, her online bookstore has become an overnight success.
What started as an act of desperation turned into a full-blown business.
It was pretty crazy the first month, and I made quite a bit.
Just a few months ago, 21-year-old Hannah Crossley was a struggling university student, anxiously looking for ways to tackle her rent and growing tuition bills.
I was struggling to find a job. I applied to a lot of different places and I got refused a lot of different times. I was starting to think I wasn't going to graduate and I'd have to do either a gap year or just stop university altogether with because it was just really hard.
In August, the fourth-year Dalhousie student decided to make a Facebook post putting some books from her fruitful collection up for sale. It came as a shock when orders flooded in.
Immediately, people were like, we'll buy books. What do you have? And it was really good. I made like quite a lot of money and was able to pay my tuition and then also pay for my books and any other university expenses.
Eventually, she gave her business a name, calling it the Book Attic. Her bookstore is completely online and run inside her small Halifax apartment. As a one-woman show, she does all pickups and deliveries.
I was very shocked to be in Halifax and immediately have people being so supportive. And then I had local authors from Nova Scotia and New Brunswick reach out and be like, hey, we wanna work with you.
She started with 500 of her own books and now has nearly 4,000. With enough overhead and demand, she can't help but wonder if it's time to open up a physical store.
It has me wondering a bit. I think the plan will be to pursue my career and then wiggle my way in to owning a bookstore as well, and then seeing which one works best.
With the success she's had in just a few months, this story has only just begun. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Oh, there you go. Is that amazing or what?
It's a good recipe for business, right? Identify a need and then develop a service to fill that need, and away you go.
Excellent. And she just keeps, she gets to keep on getting books for herself and for other people, which is nice. Love that. All right, so Kaylin, I was out a little earlier today and it was damp and raining, and I think some of those raindrops looked a little bigger than raindrops.
Did they seem a little heavy, a little maybe slushy when they
Yeah, they had a little color to them. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some wet snow that mixed in with the rain with this weather system. Not a huge surprise given how cold the air is sitting above us. Of course, all this wet weather is good for the rivers. We're looking at the river near Chesapeake. It's running much better now after the rain. More on the weather next.
Welcome back. Kaylin Mitchell joins us once again. Oh my, Kaylin, how much things have changed from 1 month to the next.
I know.
Yeah.
Finally broke free of that weather pattern that basically saw extended periods of high pressure, very dry conditions for us, into basically the complete opposite, where we've got a weather system rolling in now every few days. We certainly needed it, though, and we really want to soak in as much of this rain as we can before the ground freezes up. Gray skies here in St. John's, Jervis Bay Ross Memorial Park as we take a look at our sunrise and sunset times. You can hear that blustery wind, the gusty wind, and that's going to be around tonight into tomorrow, though it does ease up a little bit over that period of time. Taking a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure is towards the lower side because it is another low pressure system that was our weather maker for the Maritime region. It actually took a path very, very similar to that powerful, almost or was record-setting storm system for Newfoundland, at least, that hit a couple of days ago. Again, this one actually did strengthen a little bit as it moved up past the east of Nova Scotia, though didn't get to the intensity of that previous storm. Now, in behind it, there's a little ridge of high pressure. It's going to be moving in for the Maritimes tonight into tomorrow. It's going to be bringing us a gradual clearing trend. But for the first part of this evening, we're still contending with either cloudy or partly cloudy conditions. There's a scattering of some showers and flurries across much of the Maritimes, with the steadiest of the rain having just exited to the east of Cape Breton. Now, as we move through this evening and towards midnight, a lot of those showers and flurries will be coming to an end, and we'll see some further clearing of the cloud cover. The clearest conditions by around midnight tonight expected across much of northern and western Nova Scotia, large areas of central and southern areas of New Brunswick, then a little bit more on the partly cloudy side for northern areas of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and eastern areas of Nova Scotia, and those areas even up to around midnight with a low chance of a couple showers or a couple flurries moving through. Start of the day for tomorrow, it's going to be chilly for all three maritime provinces. A fair amount of sunshine around, though. And then as we move into and through Friday afternoon, cloud cover begins to increase from the west of us, and we've got another weather front that's going to be arriving late Friday night and into Saturday. So like I said, these weather systems coming in back to back to back. Winds in the forecast for tonight and for tomorrow. Remaining out of the northwest for tonight, with the wind gusts diminishing by about 20 to 30 kilometers per hour by the time we get to around midnight in the overnight hours. And then tomorrow's winds will be out of the west and northwest. Widespread gusts 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Some of the peak gusts could be close to 40 to 60, though, around the northern coastline of Prince Edward Island, parts of the North Shore coastal areas of Nova Scotia, and areas of Cape Breton, especially up into the Cape Breton Highlands, northern areas, Inverness, Victoria counties, and potentially even around the Sydney area. Some peak wind gusts could reach 50 or 60. Again, if you're planning on using ferry services in the region, especially towards eastern parts of the Maritimes, including the Marine Atlantic route, check on the website for the latest on delays and cancellations. Taking a look at low temperatures in the forecast for tonight for many parts of the region, falling down to a range around -4 to 0. Now, I think the risk of icy spots developing is pretty low, but not non-existent, because we did have some wet weather move through today, and we do have some overnight low temperatures falling down to or below the freezing mark. So late tonight, early tomorrow morning, just watch in case there's a couple of icy spots around. High temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow. They're going to be cool to chilly around the Maritimes, 2 to 6 degrees for the province of New Brunswick, and around the low to mid single digits for Prince Edward Island. Most high temperatures for Nova Scotia between 5 and 8. All right, let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from Danica. And Danica has, actually, I think we did this one last night too, didn't we? I think this is the same one, but that's okay. It's a great drawing. And once again, it was featuring a high water situation. Sorry, Danica, I didn't catch that before it went on, but it's a fantastic one. Weather watchers can come in anytime to CTV Weather Watchers, and that's P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
We showed it twice. All right, on to our next story here. A farm in southwestern Ontario is celebrating a once-in-a-lifetime moment, the birth of 4 calves from 1 cow. CTV's Robert Lothian has more on the utterly amazing story.
In a matter of hours, the owners of a Kingsville hobby farm watched as their herd of cows more than doubled.
I knew she was due any time. And I seen something was going on there, so I went and looked, and yeah, she had one.
As each hour passed, Abram Nelson returned to his pasture, finding a second calf and then a third, updating his children with each development when he learned his land was the site of something remarkable.
So I was going to confess to the children because, you know, I lied to them, and I told them there was actually 3. Half an hour later, there was 4.
Beef cow Millie giving birth to a rare 4 calves. Each one came out happy, healthy, and have already received names.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
In 20 years on this farm, each birth has only resulted in 1 calf. The odds of quadruplet calves is a rarity in its own, but the odds for all to be born healthy and alive, Nelson says, is about 1 in 11.2 million.
I hear about a triplet, but you usually want passes, and not these. These are four little guys and very healthy.
They stress the entire process was natural, and most importantly, each cow is healthy.
They were all feeding by mommy today. That was I was happy about that, and they're doing well.
Robert Lothian, CTV News.
Glad to hear they're all doing well, and I love the names Eeny, Meeny, Miny, and Mo. All right, time for our final break here on CTV News at 5. Here's a look at what's coming up next.
I'm Derek Haggett in Moncton. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Blue Rodeo keyboardist Mike Boguski stopped by for an intimate performance over the lunch hour. Afterwards, I sat down with him, and he explained why he likes performing these shows. That story is coming up.
With Aaron and Peter. We're calling our final official shopper tomorrow, joining us for a $10,000 shopping spree.
And then join us for Move It or Lose It live from Micmac Mall, November 20th.
Welcome back. Well, clients of a Moncton soup kitchen got a special treat over the lunch hour today when a member of one of Canada's most beloved bands stopped by for a performance. CTV's Derek Haggett gives this story a try.
Blue Rodeo keyboardist Mike Boguski has been playing intimate shows at soup kitchens all across Canada during the band's ongoing tour. Today, it was the Caring Kitchen's turn.
Every town has one of these, right? So every town I've gone to, I've just sort of called the local food shelter in that town the day before, say, hey, it's Mike from Blue Rodeo. If I email them, they think I'm making it up.
Raised up on hate to life at second rate.
A band member since 2008, Boguski does these low-key shows because he wants to give back. He feels blessed to be part of an incredible band, so he's playing for the less fortunate while they eat.
Life is challenging, food is expensive, and it's just very meaningful for me to be able to share music with people who can't afford the shows.
For some, this is the only balanced meal they'll have today, so a little music to go with it is greatly appreciated.
I was quite surprised, and I think it's a treat, and it made my day.
It's also special for staff and volunteers.
We've had a few fellows with their guitar or something who come in and play, or just local groups, but this is absolutely a first. It's a tremendous thrill for us.
As for Blue Rodeo's lasting appeal, Boguski says founding members Jim Cuddy and Greg Keeler have a way of writing music that speaks to people.
Jim and Greg just have a thing. They know what they're doing. Everyone loves the Beatles and everybody loves classic country. Everybody loves the Everly Brothers. You put those three things together and you make a stew, and it tastes pretty good.
Many don't even know he's part of the beloved band, and that's just fine with him. Boguski will be performing on a slightly larger stage tomorrow night when he and his bandmates from Blue Rodeo play the Avenir Centre. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Well, isn't that just awesome? I love that he does that. Yeah,
yeah.
Surprise shows all over the place. Good stuff.
Has to get himself ID'd, though, I guess, apparently.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, Mike, we're going to need you to verify your person. I wonder if he just, like, calls up and plays a couple notes. And
then they're like, oh, okay, we trust you. You sound good. Yeah. All right, what are you looking at for 6?
Yeah, of course, we're going to take a look at the extended forecast. More rain on the way.
See you tomorrow.